Hi everybody, welcome to Montero. Welcome also to Novatorical Music 109. Literally released 2 days ago, Friday the 23rd of July. Here we are, Sunday the 25th. So welcome to the 109th video of the series. Wow. For those who've not seen these before, it's a whistle-stop tour through the latest Now album. We give a little talk about each song in the background, and it has to be in the background, otherwise it would be copyright struck and even silenced. We feature some of the highlights from the album. We always play the first one on side one. In this case, Lil Nas X, Montero, Call Me By Your Name. The Old Town Road guy who wasn't Billy Cyrus. So then, how does it sound? What do you think? Will it be a classic? Will we still be listening to it 10 years from now? Will we still be listening to it 1 year from now? Well, the first thing I'll say about this one is the music, like a lot of songs on this album, is pretty good. And the vocals maybe let it down a bit. I think that's going to be a theme through this album, certainly in my opinion. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I think the music here is really good. It's kind of flamenco. It's very interesting and exotic. But the vocals, they're not bad. Just a bit cookie cutter. Now, he's a controversial figure, but the music doesn't really reflect that. It's one of those examples, and I've talked about this throughout the series, where I try and avoid what goes on in their personal lives where possible. I try and avoid their politics or anything like that, unless it counts on the music. And I think with Lil Nas X, he's someone who's rubbed a few people up the wrong way with some of his actions, e.g. the video for this song, and all that stuff with those Nike Satan shoes or whatever they were. Look up the story. But it doesn't really reflect in the music. Anyway, so it's quite an interesting start, I suppose, musically, but let down by kind of just auto-tuned vocals to buggery, really. Now, the second one follows in the same vein, and it does make me wonder if this album's going to be a bit of a struggle. I will say as well, there's 48 songs on this album, which I make probably the most songs on any now. We follow it up with one I'm not going to play. It's Justin Bieber. Featuring Daniel Caesar and Peaches, and it's shit. It's just, again, the music's okay, but the vocals are just generic and slightly alienating at the same time. So there we go, Peaches. Now, here's Olivia Rodrigo back again for the first time of a couple on this album. And it's a bit weird, this one. You feel a bit of a pedo listening to it because it looks very kind of school based. He's so young, but I'm here to judge the music. I'm not here to be sort of like going on about stuff like demographics or race or gender or anything like that. How does the music sound? Well, I think this is the most interesting song of the three so far. It takes a bit of time to build, and when it does get going, it's actually quite kind of pop rocky rather than anything else. A bit like Belinda Carlisle or someone. Maybe even Old Pink or Kelly Clarkson, someone like that. I find the vocals are a bit simpering. And she's even got a bit of an out of place what the F in there. She's far too young to be swearing like that. And it kind of makes the F stand out a bit more in that the rest of the vocals are so kind of simpering. But it's not bad, actually. It's really not bad. Maybe not as good as the one that's to follow, so stay tuned if you like your Olivia Rodrigo. Okay, now we come to the first one that I actually really like, and that's Calvin Harris, who's an absolute veteran of the Now scene by now. It must be pretty much 15 years, I reckon, that he's been having hits. This one features Tom Grennan, and it's called By Your Side. So it's the first genuinely kind of uplifting, clubby one. It's also the first British one after 3 American ones, so make of that what you will. Certainly in West Yorkshire, I think this one's a bit more kind of resonant, if you like. Pumping dance music with good vocals. So yeah, good one. Nice one, Calvin. Now, another generic, barely human sounding singer, over auto-tuned, over processed. It's Ray. And the song is actually Joel Corey and David Guetta and Ray and Bed. A lot of people to fit in one bed there, isn't it? Yeah, the music's okay again, but the vocals, they're just very, very generic. The music's actually really good on that one. Another one with really, really annoying vocals. So we've had about 4 or 5 tracks where I've liked the music and the vocals have let them down. And it's another big collab of lots of people. It's David Guetta again, and Little Mix, and Galantis, and Heartbreak Anthem. Yeah, it's alright. Musically, certainly. The music's actually really, really good. The vocals, too loud in the mix. The chorus is okay. So I wonder if there's instrumental versions of these. Now we come back to a song that was song of the album last time, Save Your Tears by The Weeknd. It was the best song by a country mile on the last album. Here it is, immediately, back with Ariana Grande added in. She puts him in some la la la's and takes care of the second verse, and she handles it pretty well. So at this rate, it could well be song of the album again. But we'll look for something else. This actually is the first one on here to really have some kind of genuine feelings in it. Is it as good as the original? Maybe not quite, because it's not really very different. Ariana adds something, but The Weeknd was so good anyway that, it's one step forward, one step back, if you like. So it's still a great song, still another good version of it. But I'd say on balance, stick to the one on Now 08. That's The Weeknd, Save Your Tears, this time featuring Ariana Grande. Okay, now we come to KSI featuring Youngblood and Polo G with Patience. And I think this might be the best KSI one to date. Sounds very, very similar to The Weeknd actually. Maybe not quite as haunting, a bit more plain. But it's okay. Yet again, I've got to say, nice music, let down by over auto-tuned vocals. But I will say the chorus kind of pummels its way into your brain. That's KSI and Youngblood and Polo G with Patience. Now, it's our old friend, Rag and Bone Man. And here he is with an unlikely duet, Pink, Anywhere Away From Here. Wasn't that one of the lyrics to that Rita Ora song? Just take me anywhere, anywhere away from here. I love that one. I might even do a version of it myself. It's one of those songs you actually want to sing yourself. So here we go, Rag and Bone Man and Pink, Anywhere Away From Here. Nothing to do with that, Rita Ora one. Now Rag and Bone Man is someone I've always loved, and he's got a couple of appearances on here, as does Pink. It's an interesting duet. They go together well. He definitely brings out something nice in Pink, and maybe she brings out something good in him, which is what you want from a good duet, bit of chemistry. So yeah, it's kind of fairly slow, as a lot of Rag and Bone Man stuff is, and it's fairly acoustic. There's no drum machines, no samplers, no chipmunk voices, no computers, just a few pianos and some nice kind of background pads. So yeah, really good song, and we follow it up with another one which is a bit generic, but it has its moments. It's Ella Henderson and Tom Grennan, Let's Go Home Together. Now, it's another good duet. There's a lot of chemistry between the two, and it really does sound like kind of closing time, and they're sort of swaggering home from the pub. They're a little bit tipsy, and they're having a bit of banter with each other. It's actually when she goes into the high notes that she sounds the best. When she's in that kind of lower register, it's a bit average. But then when she kind of goes a bit higher, it really lifts up. I think we'll play it. Have a listen to this then, see what you think. That was Rag and Bone Man and Pink, Anywhere Away From Here. Here's Ella Henderson and Tom Grennan, Let's Go Home Together. I like some of the lyrics in this, and the delivery is really good as well. It goes, I can't stop looking at your eyes. And that won me over, that one line. Really good stuff. And the final line as well. I like the way you don't give her, and then it just stops. Sometimes less is more. Sometimes what you don't say is as good as what you do say. So yeah, pretty good one this. Certainly if you've had a couple of drinks and you're swaggering home, you might find yourself singing it. Let's go home together. Right, someone else I find really annoying now, Annie Marie, who's teamed up with Niall Horan, and it's our song. It kind of sounds a bit like this, but minus the alcohol. It's maybe not as soulful, and it keeps going on about the radio, which feels sort of contrived to get it a hit, played on the radio. It's not offensively bad, just kind of mediocre fodder, really. That's Anne Marie, and Niall Horan. Now, another collab, Marshmallow and the Jonas Brothers. Now, I gather they're kind of a boy band. Well, they're pretty much a boy band. I think it's something to do with Disney or something. But maybe it's a guilty pleasure thing. I've not minded quite a lot of their stuff. It's pretty good. And this one actually really does sound a bit like Save Your Tears again. It really does sound like The Weeknd, who's obviously very influential. Marshmallow's on production, getting all the formula just right. And it's what I'd call a kind of 80s, 20s hybrid sound, which is pretty good by me. So that's Leave Before You Love Me, Marshmallow and the Jonas Brothers. Now we've got another interchangeable pop starlet. It's Griff and Black Hole. She's not quite as annoying as some of the others, but she is rather generic. An interesting one to compare this to, Black Hole by Griff, is Cambodia by Kim Wilde. Very old song, very obscure. But compare and contrast, you'll see what I mean, I think. They're kind of a bit similar melodically. That's Griff, Black Hole. It's our old friend Billie Eilish and Your Power. It's a bit more of her sort of pretentious whispering stuff. The backing's almost so quiet you can barely hear it. Like a lot of her stuff, it feels a bit over-stylised to feel totally authentic. But simultaneously, it's not bad. There's some really nice elements in there, like a lot of her stuff. And in this case, it's this sort of slightly fragmented, distant guitar sound, which is pretty much the only instrument. It's not overproduced, even if it is a bit over-stylised. Slight difference. Stylised means that what you do, you're putting under a particular style, if you like. It's not just what comes out naturally. Production is just about over-egging a pudding. So this one's not overproduced, but it is a bit over-stylised. But that said, I quite like it. That's Your Power by Billie Eilish. Okay, now another one that's a little average, but I'd say maybe slightly above average. It's got good lyrics and it's pretty tuneful. It's Sigrid and Mirror. Yeah, take a look in the mirror. Good self-empowerment lyrics on that one. Now, there's always one song on these now that totally takes you by surprise. We had a sea shanty on the last one, the one about the Weller Man. This time, we have got the long-awaited, and I must say long overdue, return of, wait for it, drum roll, it's Boney M. And none other than Rasputin. And I've got to say, this remake by Majestic and Boney M, it feels like something you could knock up yourself if you had a DK controller. It doesn't really feel like he's made a full song. It doesn't really feel like he's gone in the studio as such. It just feels like he stuck the original through some controller, looped it a bit, put some filters on it. Hey presto. But hey, it's Rasputin. And you can't be human if you don't like this song. Oh, those Russians. If you really want to enjoy this song, Rasputin by Boney M, get the album, Night Flight to Venus. And the first song, which is called Night Flight to Venus, and is absolutely brilliant, segues into Rasputin, and it's 10 minutes of space disco perfection. Absolutely glorious. If this introduces anyone to that, and that's got to be a good thing. So Boney M and Majestic and Rah Rah Rasputin. Now, the next song, Summer 91. Before I'd even knew what the song was called, and I was just listening to it, I was saying like, wow, this sounds like it's just come out of 91. Those pianos, it's Uber 1991. When I found out the song's called Summer 91, I was like, that makes perfect sense. It really does. And it's pretty good summer for music, if you remember it. Heavy D and the Boys, Now That We Found Love, The Shaman, Move Any Mountain. Bizarre Ink, Such a Good Feeling. Right, said Fred, I'm too sexy. We don't talk about Bryan Adams, everything I do. She's also thrown in some yes from Moby's Sublime Go. All in all, you've got a really, really good club banger that's equally 2021 and 1991. And it's fascinating that really it could have equally been on Now 20 probably. So it's potential single of the album for an old duffer like me. And it also proves, I think, that 1991 club music's really not that different to 21 club music. Should we stick it on then? Let's look back. Summer 91, Noisy. As opposed to Noisy, yeah. Alright. Okay, Becky Hill, listen to that. There's a Vic Reeves song actually called Abide With Me, the old hymn. And the piano sounds really similar. Vic Reeves and the Grid doing Abide With Me. Interesting. Becky Hill, The Last Time. Now, Becky Hill is really above average. I think of all the singers around, she's absolutely one of the best. I really like her voice. I don't know if I can analyse why it's better than people like Anne-Marie. Other than just to say it makes me feel better listening to it. It's uplifting, it resonates, it's got soul, and she hits really good notes. I really like it. That's Last Time by Becky Hill. It's superb. I might even stick a bit of that on. Another contender for Song of the Album. Let's just get the drop here. Here we go. Yeah. That's Noisy Summer 91. Absolute contender for Song on the Album, that. But equally, this one, Becky Hill and Last Time. So these good club sounds here. And it's nice to say as well the clubs are reopening again. Woo, woo. Now, here's a curate's egg of a song coming up. Doja Cat, Kiss Me More. All is going swimmingly for the first minute and a half. It's really nice. It's got a nice chord progression and a really nice production. And then suddenly, 1 minute 20, 25, she starts swearing like a docker. And you hear the N-word more often than you'd hear it at a Ku Klux Klan rally. Unbelievable. What a turn-off. So she goes from sexy and sensual to foul-mouthed and off-putting in about 5 seconds. And then suddenly switches back again. So I might have to do my own edit of this, I think. And if I'd been there in the studio at the time, I would have left a good 30 seconds of this on the cutting room floor. I think I might do that. Because I like the slow, kind of gentle bits. I just don't like the kind of out-of-place rapping. Lacks critical thinking, lacks taste. Rapping, Rap Star. Now, do you remember Rockstar by Post Malone? I really didn't like it. I gave it a really bad review. I was listening to it the other day, and I thought I couldn't really work out why I hated it so much. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't great. So we go from Rockstar to Rap Star. This one is Polo G, who's already appeared in collab. Really didn't like this. Maybe I'll listen to it again in a few weeks and I might like it. It's back to that auto-tune shit, which is the antithesis to this sort of nice, genuine vocal, female vocal stuff. You don't need auto-tune if you've got a decent singer. You really don't. So yeah, I didn't really like Rap Star. It just sounds dated as hell. Possibly the worst song on the album. That's Rap Star by Polo G. Okay, Masked Wolf and Astronaut in the Ocean. This is going to be a long video because I've got 48 songs to go through. Blimey. Masked Wolf. On paper, it's very average indeed. There's nothing original at all about it. It carries on the sort of shit sound that was on Rap Star. But the flow is slightly less auto-tuned. It does sound a bit more human. The actual rap itself is very good. The melody is somewhat lacking. Okay, another veteran now. Bruno Mars featuring Anderson .Paak and Silk Sonic. And I get this one on. Leave the Door Open. Okay, so our time machine has gone from 1991 now back to the mid-70s. And it's Soul Train, pretty much. Do you watch Soul Train? If not, you've got to check it out. It's absolutely brilliant. It's like a top of the pops for kind of black soul and R&B acts in the 70s in America. And you just get some amazing performances on it. And this sounds like it could have been on it. It really does. It's just very, very retro 70s soul. A bit like the Shy-Lights or Delphonics or someone like that. Bruno's on form here. I like the fact that it's got real drums and real instruments. Maybe real strings. certainly good programming if they're not real. It's a bit OTT in a way, but so was a lot of that stuff. I like it. I think I've got the vibe just right. Yeah, good stuff. That's Bruno Mars and crew. Leave the door open. Remember where you are. Very good voice indeed. And this is another contender for Song of the Album. Another person who's not average, who's not cookie cutter. One thing about this video is I want to show critical thinking. I want to show that I judge each of these songs on a song-by-song basis. I'm not prejudiced in any way. I listen to the song and I tell you what I think of what I hear. Jessie Ware is so different from people like Anne-Marie. It's a different ballpark. And our time machine is broken down now. So here we are, still in 1975. And I've got to say, these 70s style songs are much more engaging and interesting. And they sound more innovative than some of the so-called modern stuff, which ends up sounding a bit 2009. I think Autotune dates stuff more than this sort of 70s stuff in a way. So let's get a bit of this on then. Jessie Ware, remember where you are. Yeah, brilliant. This one is very, very original indeed. I really like it. It's got really nice production. Really nice vocals. Great instrumentation. And above all, a good song, a good melody. Good stuff. Okay, do you know what? I'm going to do this video in two parts. I might edit them together, but it's a long old video. I've already done 22 minutes. So one more on this half. And then by the power of the edit, we'll probably come back when do the second half. So we end with a song that was also on the last album. It's a Sin. Back again. But this time featuring... I've got to play it because it's so interesting to put it one way or another. Featuring Elton John. That was Jessie Ware and Remember Where You Are. Here are Years and Years and Elton, as produced by the Pet Shop Boys of all people. So it starts off very much like the Years and Years one. Nice slow ballad, just a piano. And then suddenly, thunderclap, and Pet Shop Boys come in with some kind of heavy production. And it's back to the kind of old style, high energy synth disco with Elton hammering away at the piano and singing. I did love the original and I like the Years and Years one. This kind of combines the two. It maybe is a bit OTT. It does sound a bit like Karaoke Hour down the Georgian Dragon. It's massive. It's certainly not boring. Yeah. I just wonder if you can have too much of a good thing. Wait for the big loud bit. Meanwhile, we crack on with more veterans. Coldplay, who I make have been around for 21 odd years now, having hits. Wow. This one is what passes for something of an up-tempo number for Coldplay. It's higher power. Ironically, it's the chorus lacks power, I would say. The verse is pretty good. The chorus kind of lets it down a bit. It seems a bit, I don't know, just a bit of an anti-climax. It seems to drain away all the energy of the song. The verses are quite up-tempo, and if anything, it sounds like it's been modelled on The Boys of Summer by Don Henley. Compare and contrast. KSI is back with Holiday. And this is probably KSI's most chilled song so far. A little bit average, but it's quite nice. It's a good summery vibe. Can't hate on it. Tom Grennan. Little bit of love. Fairly good songwriting and arrangement. It's quite promising. It's not totally there yet. It lacks a killer hook again. Doesn't really go round and round in your head, but it's getting there. Rag and Bone Man is back with All You Ever Wanted. Now this is a cracking song. And this is an upbeat song for him, who, again, is probably more associated with ballads and stuff. It's almost a little bit new wavy, and it's actually got a blistering guitar solo in it. But it's essentially kind of blue-eyed soul. And I must say, Rag and Bone Man does make some of the best pop music of recent years. I'm a big fan. Good stuff. Right, Years and Years, back again. Here they are with Elton. And this is just them on their own, years and years, Starstruck. If you like Lady Gaga and stuff like that, you'll like it. Surprise, surprise, it's highly camp. And it's a little bit tinny. I don't want to hate on it, and it does feel honest. It's not contrived. What you see is what you get with it. It's just a bit kind of overbearing. Right, okay, another veteran now. Way before the Now era, this guy was having hits. Nile Rodgers. And he teams up in a very unlikely collaboration. Jack Zavaretti, who I also gave Best Song of the Album to a few volumes ago. Who's Hurting Who? Should we stick this one on? What a collab. So yeah, that's Elton and Years and the Pet Shop Boys. And we'll follow that with Jack Zavaretti and Nile Rodgers. Who's Hurting Who? So yeah, what can I say about this one then? Well, it's another contender for Song of the Album. I don't know if it's quite up there with Jessie Ware, but it's certainly a contender. And it's a very, very striking combination of Jack's gruff vocals and Niall's funky smoothness. And it sounds kind of unique and different from the cookie cutter stuff. And it's a really good, strong song with good performances all around. So yeah, good one. Jack Zavaretti and Nile Rodgers, Who's Hurting Who? Follow this one up with a return for Olivia Rodrigo. Now this one's probably even better than the one before, Deja Vu. Sure heard it somewhere before. It's got intriguing lyrics. She goes on about Billy Joel's Uptown Girl in great detail. Something about teaching someone to play it on the piano and putting in something between the verse and the chorus. Very specific, so it sounds very authentic and very real. She's singing about something that really happened. And the drum programming, if you want to get a bit muso, is very good on it. It's definitely not cookie cutter. The voice works well. Yeah, I'd say this is probably Olivia's best song to date yet. And it's also got this weird sort of guitar synthy screeching sound towards the end. So yeah, there's a lot to talk about with that one. Check it out. Olivia Rodrigo, Deja Vu. Good without Mimi Webb. Well, here's a new cookie cutter person again. I don't know why I like Olivia Rodrigo and Deja Vu, and I don't like Good Without by Mimi Webb. Well, I do know why. Like I say, the Olivia one's got substance. It's got stuff to talk about. It feels like it's based on real stuff, and it's got an innovative production, and it's well sung. Mimi Webb's got none of those things. Her voice sounds just like everyone else. It's just really dreary. Now, Little Mix, they're kind of up and down. I'm never going to be a massive Little Mix fan, but, you know, I doff my cap to their better moments. Confetti is not one of them. It's okay. It's just not what I'd listen to at home. It's not my style, really, but if you like it, you like it. Fair enough. Okay, now we have a few sort of slight grimy kind of ones. Starting up with Russ Millions and Tion Wayne, Body. It sounds a bit raw still. It's not over commercialised. It's quite interesting. Not as good is A1J1 Latest Trends, which does sound a bit trend hopping. It just doesn't sound as original as the Russ Millions one. And they look absolutely titchy in the video. Remind me of Musical Youth. I just hope they have a brighter future than those guys did. The beat's quite interesting, I suppose. Another one, Central C, Commitment Issues. I must say it kind of makes me laugh. Not necessarily in a bad way. I'm not laughing at it. I just kind of recognise the sort of... it's just so down to earth. It's not poetical or anything. It's really just a real... Sounds like a real conversation. No metaphors or anything like that. I just laugh out of recognition, I suppose. We've all been there. We've all done that. And let's get this one on then. Oliver Twist. Always nice to have a bit of Dickens, whose legacy endures to this day. RD. Yeah, I really like the strings in this. Of all of these, this is probably the best of the sort of grimy UK hip-hoppy ones. The strings are very haunting indeed. There's not much metaphor in these lyrics either, other than wanting more, like Oliver Twist. I don't know how much lasting value these songs have. They're kind of here today, gone tomorrow. But hey, it sounds quite good right now. I'm not complaining. Right, now someone who's apparently from Leeds. But you wouldn't be able to tell from his accent. Tom Zanetti. And didn't know. Well, I didn't know you were from Leeds, mate. Didn't really like it, to be honest. I think his vocals are useless, really. Sorry, I don't want to meet him and him to have a go at me. I'm sure he's a nice bloke, and he's probably better than I could do. But, nah, it's really not a lot I like in that. And the music's okay, I suppose, if I said something positive, but not a big fan of that. Talking of Anne-Marie, here she is again with some more shit vocals, and Nathan Dorr and Mostak. Way too long. It's nothing special. It'll be dated by the next now, to be honest. Jonas Blue and Leon, Hear Me Say. Nothing we've not heard a million times before. It's got a decent drop and it bangs along fairly pleasantly, but we're getting some real run-of-the-mill stuff here. Nothing that's really going to stand out, I don't think. Regard, more annoying vocals. That's you. The beats are adequate. Like a lot of this stuff, as I said at the very beginning, the music's fine, it's just the vocals are whack. Celeste, Tonight. Same again, the vocals ruin it. Can we just have some more good singers, like Becky Hill and Jessie Ware? They're good. I just find these ones really affected. The music's really good. And it's got some really lovely orchestration and some really good drumming. And the actual melody's very good, but I just don't like the sound of the vocals. That's Celeste, Tonight. Aurora's voice, I quite like, yeah. Runaway, that's not bad. That's pretty good, very slow and atmospheric. Now, here we got some really good vocals, and we're getting on. In a way, this is the other way round. The music's maybe not brilliant on this, but the vocals are good. It is London Grammar, and How Does It Feel? And it sounds like this. Yeah, that's nice. Maybe it's a personal thing, and this is why I ask people's comments. What is it that makes one singer's voice really nice and another one really grating and annoying? And what do you guys think? So here we go, London Grammar. How Does It Feel? And Pink is back again. Now, I used to find Pink really annoying. I don't find her nearly as annoying these days. Maybe she's matured. Maybe my tastes have changed. Maybe she's just doing better stuff these days. She's kind of an elder statesman. I mean, she's been having hits for good over 20 years now. All I Know So Far. I mean, it won't go down as a classic or anything, but it's perfectly pleasant. Medicine. James Arthur. Well, he had that train wreck last time. He's recovered from that with his medicine. Still a bit mediocre, but it's okay. It's all well and worthy and stuff. I feel like there's been a run of songs here that I've not really been a bundle over. So it's nice that we end with a bit of oomph. And two songs that are kind of quite rocky. We've got Typhoons by Royal Blood, which is not Prince Harry. I certainly don't think. Might be. So it's some good old-fashioned rock and roll. It's pretty good. And actually it ends the side with a bit of oomph and kind of shows what's been lacking. Maybe the song itself isn't great, but the guitars are really, really good. Actually, some of the best guitars for ages, and the drums are good. So that's alright. Typhoons. And finally, Real Oddity, Eurovision time. Did you see the Eurovision Song Contest this year? We came nil point, I think. We came last. Oh dear. But the guys who won it were, now let me get pronunciation right, Maneskin and I Wanna Be Your Slave. Now, what does it say? That the song that won Eurovision is probably the heaviest, the most rockiest, punkiest song on the whole album. Wow. Things have really changed, haven't they? Since, I don't know, Katrina and the Waves and all that. So, yeah, here we go then. I Want to Be Your Slave. It's pretty heavy, and it's certainly fairly atypical for a Eurovision thing. But, yeah, it's strong. It's different. It's striking. And I think it'll be remembered. I think it's one of those few Eurovision songs that actually goes beyond the confines of the contest and actually becomes a genuine pop or pop rock classic. So, good ending. Alright, well, it's been a long old video. This album, it's had some really, really good moments. I feel side 2's a bit of a letdown. I think side 1's significantly better. If we go through them track by track, what are real classics then? Well, the first three aren't great. Calvin's pretty good, By Your Side. But I think Save Your Tears, alright, it was a classic on the last now, it's still a classic. Rag and Bone Man and Pink's pretty cool. Marshmallow and Jonas Brothers, that's pretty good. Griff, Black Hole. Rasputin, it's an old classic. Summer 91, looking back. Maybe we'll look back in 2051. Summer 21, who knows. Last Time by Becky Hill, that's pretty cool. Kiss Me More was going alright till it went shit. Jessie, Ware, Remember Where You Are, and Bruno Mars, Leave the Door Open. They were both very good 70s style ones. I think probably Jessie Ware gets Song of the Album. It's a Sin, yeah, interesting version. Again, All You Ever Wanted, good Rag and Bone Man one. Who's Hurting Who? Actually, there was some good stuff on side too. Jack Zavaretti and Nile Rodgers. Best Olivia Rodrigo one, Deja Vu. And Oliver Twist. Oh dear, that's pretty good. And How Does It Feel? London Grammar, that's pretty good. Typhoons, Royal Blood, and I Want to Be Your Slave. There we go, guys. Now 109. Easily, with 48 songs on there, I reckon you can get at least a good 20, 24 songs. So bearing in mind that now one only had 30 songs, the best 30 songs on here, probably as good as now one. So I don't think pop music's got any worse. There's just more of it. Let us know what you think, guys. See you next time for Now 110.